Huh? What is that? What is that? Is that a new build? Indeed it is. What's up, guys? I figured I would sort of share my new build with you, and he just arrived in NG Plus the other day, so I've done maybe 40 or so invasions thus far. He is pretty cool. I've been having a lot of fun with him, so I figured I'd go ahead and have a little discussion with you about where I'm coming from with this guy. My goal was to have 2 Royal Dirks and a parry dagger and a dagger and 2 notched whips. So basically a dagger specialist with the notched whips as sort of a wild card. But since I can't have the 2 Royal Dirks just yet, I've been using the claws. I think they look pretty damn cool, and it's gonna be hard to let them go now. Functionality-wise, they're not the best. I think the L1 is a great attack. The R1 has its uses, but the L2 is like, I mean, it's terrible, in my opinion. The R2 looks really cool when you do 2 R2s in a row, but it's so hard to work, it's just not very practical. I guess is what I'm getting at. But they are fun, and they look really cool. They're really befitting of the style of this build. So, I don't know. I might keep them around. I'm not sure. I am going to use the 2 Royal Dirks. I think that's going to be pretty badass as well. Now, the critical damage for the Royal Dirk is garbage. I've already experienced this in full effect. In fact, I think there's an invasion coming up where I start using it a little bit, the 1 Dirk that I have upgraded. And yeah, it's terrible. I mean, I'm talking like 250 damage on a backstab against an opponent that's really not even heavily armored. So yeah, I don't know, man. But this fight right here, I thought that it was a decent fight, but it was a good example of me using everything at my disposal. And that's really what I'm going for on this guy. I want to be constantly switching weapons and applying loads of pressure. I have way more stamina on this guy than I have on any other build, and the weapon setup that I have isn't really consuming much stamina either, so I'm really able to pile it on, which I absolutely love. But I am having to play a little differently than what I'm used to. Excuse me. But I'm used to doing a lot of attack canceling, lots of feinting, but this time around, attack cancels aren't really much of a thing. Now, just tonight, actually, I discovered that power stancing those notched whips is quite effective for attack cancels. In fact, it might be a little unfair how good it is, but I'm unsure on that right now. I need a lot more practice to make a final judgment, but I mean, I had like 3 or 4 fights in a row where I was like faking people out left and right with attack cancels with those whips. So we'll have to see on that. But I did have a few good fights in here. I might have mentioned that. I got put down horribly a couple times as well. So most of these fights, though, were sort of weird and awkward. People getting one-shotted, two-shotted occasionally. So it was kind of tough to throw a decent montage together here, so to speak. But like I said, I've only had 40 or so invasions. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on this build. I just got dunked right there. I have a lot of practice to do on this guy. Like I said, you know, I really want those Royal Dirks. It was my goal to make this guy a dagger build, so that's still a little bit in the future. I get kind of bored playing through this game and making builds, and it's unfortunate because I would love to make like 5 different builds right now just off the top of my head, but playing through the game on 5 more characters, no thanks. And I know what you're thinking, probably. You're probably saying, dude, use soul vessels. I don't really like to do that for making a build completely different. Now, if I want to make minor adjustments for a build, sure, you know, soul vessels all the way. But I like to have a variety of different characters to switch to, you know, just to keep it fresh. And I don't want to have to respec builds all the time just so I can do that. So this is actually my 5th character. Just got him 150, just got him an NG+. I have another build that I'm working on. He's going to be awesome as well. I'm really excited for him, but he's still an NG and he's pretty far behind right now. So it's going to be a little while, but expect this guy in the future. Expect me to be messing around with the Royal Dirks. I might mess around with other daggers as well. We'll have to see. This was actually one of my first invasions on this guy, and this was my first sort of experiment with this setup. And this guy took me on a ride for like 5 minutes. So I sped this up to about 250% right here. So this fight was pretty insane. He really wanted to live. I don't know, he really wanted to live. But pretty ridiculous. This is sort of what happens when I don't have any kind of big critical for backstabs or ripostes, guard breaks, stuff like that. You know, the Royal Dirk, it's pretty much garbage. It is garbage. The claws are okay. They're doing a lot more than I expected them to, actually. So there is that. That's not bad, but they're still pretty garbage against anybody that has defenses, that is. So, you know, if you don't have these sort of big finishers ready, then you might have, you know, a fight like this on your hands every now and then, or you might, you know, just get healed up on and really not be able to do much about it. I do like to use Lloyds, but I don't think that this is going to be the build where I'm going to be able to make use of Lloyds. I've got that poisoning build, and I make use of Lloyds all the time on him, but this is a little bit different. I do, and I actually have been able to make bleed proc quite a bit, even though I don't have any infusion or anything like that, so I'm not sure how effective it's been, but it has been procking. Anyway, guys, this is the last fight. I figured I'd share my build with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.